welcome to another long-awaited edition of Are You There, Government? It's me, John Forward. Haven't done one of these in a little while. There hasn't really been much going on in politics for the last little while, but the Conservative Party here in Canada just nominated their new leader, and I haven't watched his speech yet, so I thought that would be a good one to dig into. Haven't been following this super closely. I'm not a conservative. I don't like any of the other parties, so I thought maybe this might be the least bad option. I'm probably not. I watched one of the debates along with Erin O'Toole. We had Leslyn Lewis, who seemed the least politician-y in the debate that I saw, and I mean that as a sincere compliment. She seemed the least likely to be a blood-soaked monster. She didn't say anything too objectionable. I've heard her referred to in the media as a social conservative. I'm not sure exactly what policies that's referring to, but it's usually not a good thing. But we had Derek Sloan, who looks like Tom Green and seems to have been like the edgelord candidate. That would have been an interesting race. He's very against PC culture, which is odd for a political platform. Also seemed to be very against abortion, so you win some, you lose some. We had Peter MacKay, who I've heard his name because I think he's from New Brunswick or the Maritimes, maybe. I don't care who these people are. He just looks like a bit of a ghoul. He looks like he would be a good casting choice for like a CBC adaptation of Frankenstein, and he could play the monster. He just looks really weird. And then we have Erin O'Toole, who I assumed was going to win just because he looks the most like a politician. This seems to be the we want to have a beer with this guy candidate. Just Uncle Aaron. That's who this guy seemed to be. He just said a bunch of standard politician-y type stuff. I don't remember what any of his policies were that he talked about in the debates. He seemed like a guy that conservative voters would go for, even though he didn't say anything of particular note that I was interested in. But maybe he'll win me over. We've got this 16-minute, this is his first speech as the Conservative Party leader, ousting Andrew Scheer, who still in 2020 is one of those guys with like the gelled haircut with the little spiky bangs. Not a good look. Somehow did not manage to beat Trudeau despite multiple blackface scandals. Let's meet Erin, spelled like a girl, O'Toole, and let's see what he has to say.
What an honor. What an honor. Thank you so much.
This echoey audio is not my fault. This is in the video itself. Just in case you were, hitting up the comments to complain about that.
Conservative members across this country have been patient throughout this leadership race, as Canadians have been through COVID-19.
As opposed to what? We need our new conservative figurehead leader because, that's how it works here. The Liberals screw up for a while, and then we elect a Conservative for them to screw up for a while, and then we elect a Liberal to screw up for a while. And the NDP and the Green parties are just... It's not fair. That's what they're doing in the corner. So anyway, this guy's probably, regardless of what he has to say, he's probably going to be our next Prime Minister.
And Conservatives were patient again tonight. So thank you for being patient throughout this leadership race. But I want to start by thanking my friends.
Thank you for not setting cars and businesses on fire waiting for this vote to happen.
Leslyn Lewis, Derek Sloan, and of course, the Honorable Peter MacKay. Thank you for stepping up for our country.
Of course, Peter MacKay. I guess he was his main competition, so I don't know.
Congratulations for the campaigns you have run. for the ideas you have put forward, and for the Canadians you have recruited to our cause. Thank you for putting your name on the ballot.
Recruited to the cause? Like, what's your cause? We're not Justin Trudeau. The end. Welcome to the cause.
For leaving your family for weeks to travel all over this great country, whether on the ground or in a room of your house for hours of Zoom calls. Thank you for talking
Haha, Zoom. That's a reference.
to Canadians about our country, our party, and ideas for a stronger future. Thank you for valuing the grassroots members of our movement. I want to thank my incredible campaign team from coast to coast to coast. We have built a passionate team of patriotic Canadians, and your hard work led to this victory. Mes amis, cette course montre que le Parti conservateur est un parti d'idées et de principes. Les débats positifs avec Leslyn, Derek,
Not the worst French accent I've ever heard. I still don't know where he's getting this whole we're a movement and we have ideas and stuff. All I've heard mostly is just Trudeau's a jerk. Let's do it instead.
et Peter prouvent que notre mouvement est en santé. Merci à vous trois. On va continuer le travail ensemble.
Thank you,
Durant
either
cette course, j'ai
candidates.
été fier de voyager à travers la belle province. J'ai rencontré des centaines de Québécois à Montréal, Trois-Rivières,
This is
Québec.
the requisite
Dans le
kissing
secteur.
ass to Quebec. He loved
Merci de
visiting them.
m'avoir reçu chez vous pour parler d'économie, de santé et d'agriculture.
Thank you for letting me talk to you about the economy and healthcare and such. I think it's really odd that politicians need to pander so hard to one province in particular. But anyway, that's democracy. We love it.
Quand les journalistes vont parler de cette course, ils vont parler de notre grand succès au Québec. On a bâti
Oh, shot at the media. They're not going to talk about all these things, but they can't ignore how awesome we did in the one province that everybody needs to kiss ass to.
On a bâti une équipe incroyable qui fait honneur au deal de deux peuples fondateurs.
I didn't catch all that. They had to fight some awesome team. I'm not sure what that means. My French is rusty.
I also want to thank the volunteers for Peter, Leslyn, and Derek. You worked incredibly hard, and I look forward to all of us working together to build a stronger country with more opportunity for our children and our grandchildren. I would
What's that? Looking off stage? And our grandchildren. I don't know. Maybe his grandkids were there watching him. I'm probably reading too far into this.
also like to thank Andrew and Jill Shear and your family for your service and dedication to the country and to our party. We will continue to work together for Canadians. And of course, I want to thank my wife, Rebecca, our children, Molly and Jack, and all of my family and friends here tonight, or still up watching at home. Thank you for your love, advice, and patience.
Thank you for voting for me no matter what I say. So I don't know why he's wasting so many minutes of his speech thanking the 50 people that are... Anyway.
9 months. Cette victoire revient évidemment à mon épouse Rebecca, nos enfants Molly et Jacques, ainsi que toute ma famille et nos amis. Merci pour votre amour, votre patience,
Still
et vos conseils.
thanking all the same people
Most
in a
of
different
all, thank you
language.
to the tens of thousands
They probably don't speak French. He's got to thank his family in French. Anyway.
of Canadians from coast to coast to coast who voted for me.
Wait a minute.
You put-
coast to coast to coast. We've got 3 coasts. Is there a north coast of Canada that is that they're hoping to court? You don't hear too much about the Northwest Territories. Anyway, that's my thought.
Put your faith in me to lead this historic party, and I'm honored and humbled.
This historic party? What does that even mean? We existed for some time now, and good for us.
I promise you, I will not let you down. Today you have given me a
Promise not to let us down. A Canadian politician? Come on. How often has that happened?
clear mission to unite our party, to champion our conservative principles, to show Canadians what we know so well, that Justin Trudeau and his team are failing our great country.
That's what we need. We need to not fail. Very specific policy. Thank you, sir.
We must continue to point out Liberal failings and corruption, but we must also show Canadians our vision for a stronger, prosperous, and more united Canada.
All right, now we're going to get specific as to what they're going to do other than just not screw up. Here it comes.
Canada can and must do better, and Conservatives will work hard to earn the trust and confidence of Canadians in the next election.
We can be better. Take my words. Better is good.
Aujourd'hui, vous me donnez une mission claire. Unir notre parti, me tenir debout
Clear
pour nos
message.
valeurs
Unite the
et
party.
démontrer, encore une fois,
We
que
rule.
Justin Trudeau établit le Canada.
Justin Trudeau sucks.
Mais je ne vais pas juste critiquer les libéraux. Nous
Oh, he's not going to just criticize the Liberals.
allons proposer une vision d'un Canada plus fort, plus uni.
We're not just going to criticize the Liberals. We're going to have a Canada that's better than bad. Thank you for your policies, sir.
Unie et plus prospère. Une vision positive conservatrice.
Positive things.
Friends, now the real work begins. We could be into an election campaign as soon as this fall. But as more than 260,000 passionate Conservatives,
If we do enough research that says that we can grab power, we will demand an election in the fall, regardless of the expense and all of the debt that we've racked up over the last few months. We need to not be bad, and we will certainly do better. Thank you.
have already shown in this record-breaking leadership amidst a pandemic, the Conservative Party will be ready for the next election.
What records? I don't care if you're ready for an election. What are you going to do?
And we will win the next election.
Great. Not Trudeau.
To the millions
2020.
of Canadians that are still up, that I'm meeting tonight for the first time,
Hilarious joke that this is being done at 1:30 in the morning. Oh my god, Canadians, you're still awake because you have no jobs.
good morning. I'm Erin O'Toole. You're going to be seeing and hearing a lot from me in the coming weeks and months.
More like Aaron's a tool, am I right?
But I want you to know from the start that I'm here to fight for you and your family. Il y a des millions de citoyens qui me voient ce soir pour la première fois. Mais on a beaucoup en commun. Je suis né à Montréal et j'ai
Lots of people are seeing him for the first time, but we have lots in common. He was born in Montreal. I would think his accent would be better.
grandi en Ontario. J'ai appris mon
Grew up in
français dans
Ontario.
les forces armées canadiennes. Et oui, je parle comme un
Learned French in the army. Is that what our army's doing? Just guys in camouflage sitting in a French class.
anglo, mais un anglo qui respecte les francophones et qui est fier de français dans notre pays.
More French pandering.
Je suis en politique pour me battre pour tous les Canadiens. et nos deux langues nationales. Like
I'm going to fight for everybody and our languages. Fighting for languages. That's what we need.
many millions of Canadians, Rebecca and I have been juggling a lot of jobs lately. With our kids at home, COVID has made us appreciate teachers more than ever before. My mother, who passed away when I was 9, was a teacher. And throughout my life, I wish she was here to give me advice. Right now, I wish she were here to see her child succeed. But
I wish I could be trotting out my elderly mom to campaign for me. Thank you, Canada. When I was 9 years old, I really appreciated teachers.
I know she is here tonight because I can see her in my daughter, who shares her name.
His daughter is possessed by his dead mom? Way to bury the lead. That's a pretty compelling message. We need to get the Conjuring ghost hunters up in here.
Thankfully, I've also had my stepmother, also a teacher, to guide me to this very day.
His dad really had a boner for teachers.
I'm thankful that she and my dad are here with me tonight. My father, John, inspired me into public service.
My father, John, inspired me to enjoy getting spanked by a meter stick.
But like many teenagers, especially those who lost a parent, I gave my dad a hard time growing up. He worked at General Motors for over 30 years.
Look at that rascally smile. I was a teenager raising hell. This is definitely the have a beer with guy.
Which brought us from Sainte-Thérèse, Quebec, to Bowmanville, Ontario, to my home in the Toronto area. After high school, I joined the military to gain discipline and to serve the country. It deepened my love for Canada and defines who I am today.
I didn't really love Canada until I got to shoot some guns and wear a fancy uniform.
Served as a navigator on Sea King helicopters and sailed with our Navy out of Halifax. It was in Halifax where I met Rebecca, the love of my life.
Oh, maritime panders. Here we go. He's not going to talk about New Brunswick, though.
Today,
who would?
Rebecca and I are both navigating, raising our amazing children.
Oh my God. I was a navigator, and now we are both navigating this campaign. Oh my God. He's got some awesome speechwriters. That was a solid joke.
Molly and Jack. And 5 days ago, Rebecca and I celebrated 20 years of marriage.
How old is this guy? That doesn't seem that impressive. I've been together with May for 14 years.
I have spent my entire adult life trying to serve Canada and its people. Soon, I will be asking Canadians for the chance to serve as Prime Minister, so that
He just wants to be a lowly servant, you guys.
we can get this country back on track.
Back on track. Make Canada great again.
I love this country, and I'm very worried about the course we are on. When I launched my campaign in Calgary in January, I said that the stakes were high. They are even higher today. Our country is currently facing its most serious economic challenges since the Great Depression. Capital and jobs have been leaving Canada, and large deficits were being run before the COVID crisis led to record debt and deficits.
And we want to give money to the oil companies instead. We're still going to spend the same amount of money, but, you know, to the people that really need it.
Des centaines d'entreprises familiales sont près de la faillite. Nous voyons les
Small businesses are going out of business.
tarifs sur l'aluminium
Aluminum tariffs.
augmentés et aucun accord pour le bois d'œuvre canadien. Warren Buffett
Softwood.
a annulé son investissement de plusieurs milliards dans le Saguenay à
Warren Buffett stopped giving us free money.
cause de blocus illégaux. Avec les libéraux, le Canada est devenu un pays risqué pour investir. Il faut
Justin Trudeau made Canada a risky company to invest in.
redonner confiance aux employeurs, aux PME et aux innovateurs. Il faut leur
Pandering to the innovators, the small business owners. What is he going to do about it?
rappeler, c'est possible pour le Canada d'être un des meilleurs endroits au monde pour faire des affaires. Mais surtout,
We want Canada to be the best place in the world to, he said, faire des affaires, doing things. I assume he means it's going to be a good place to do business. That's what everybody's crying for these days.
je vais me battre pour tous les oubliés. Ces gens qui se lèvent tôt pour nourrir leur famille.
Fighting for the forgotten people, just trying to feed their family. This guy is. Anyway.
Les hommes et les femmes qui travaillent fort et qui sont fiers de travailler.
Oh, there's a dog whistle. For the men and women who work hard and are proud to work hard, not these goddamn bums on the dole. I assume that's what he's saying.
Ils peuvent compter sur moi. Our country is more divided than it ever has been in my lifetime. People are losing faith in Canada because of the ideological and out-of-touch policies from the Liberals.
Can we stop equating the whole country to just the cabal of clowns that are running the show? I don't think anybody's losing faith in Canada. We've just got dummies in charge. But anyway, we need a different dummy that'll not be bad and will be good.
We just emerged from the first wave of the largest health crisis in our history. Premiers across our country have shown real leadership amid the COVID-19 crisis. They were looking out for you. Justin Trudeau, Bill Morneau, and the Liberals showed once again that even amid a national crisis, they were still interested in looking after their friends.
Oh, sick burn. Everybody's dying in the streets, and these guys are still allowing something that happened in the past to have happened. Damn them.
We can rebuild our great country while protecting Canadians from the ongoing threat of COVID-19.
How?
We can get Canadians back to work, be proud of the things we grow, build, and produce in Canada again.
How?
We must have a government that will keep us safe and
How?
ensure that we are never ill-prepared again.
How?
To do that, we need a leader with real-world experience and someone who is not afraid to make the tough decisions.
Real world experience. Justin Trudeau made a tough decision. He was like, man, I need to do the hands too. That's a tough decision. That's going to get all over your drinks. Yeah. And we had the guy, the Bill Morneau guy, like, oh my God, oops, my bad. I forgot to pay you guys back this $40,000. Those are tough decisions.
A leader who
Justin Trudeau made the tough decision to throw that other guy under the bus.
cares more about keeping Canadians safe and united than about his personal image and the interests of insiders. We need a leader who puts Canadians first and will stand up for Canada and our interests in a challenging world where we've lost the respect of our friends and allies.
Who? I'm not very up on the news, but I don't know. What other countries are like, goddamn Canada, we don't trust them anymore because of that Justin Trudeau We Charity scandal. Who knows about that outside of Canada?
The world still needs more Canada. It just needs less Justin Trudeau. Why?
I don't know. I think the only thing that I've heard, at least on American podcasts with comedians, is just how handsome he is. I think people like that. He sucks, but I don't think anybody cares. Donald Trump was upset because Justin Trudeau was talking shit about him behind his back.
Why should I be that leader? Because I believe that whether you are black, white, brown, or from any race or creed, whether you are LGBT or straight, whether you are an Indigenous Canadian,
Oh, he just said LGBT. He didn't give the plus. What about the pluses, dude?
or have joined the Canadian family 3 weeks ago or 3 generations ago. Whether you're doing well or barely getting by. Whether you worship on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, or not at all. You are an important part of Canada, and you have a home in the Conservative Party of Canada.
And the police probably shouldn't murder you. That's probably what's coming next, right?
Maybe you have voted for a different party your whole life, or have never voted at all. Maybe you feel that as a union member, you should not vote for our party. Maybe you feel let down repeatedly by politicians. Maybe your family came to Canada for better, but you are still waiting for fair treatment. Maybe you run a small business and work all day only to be called a tax cheat by your own government. It is time for many Liberal and
Who's being called a tax cheat? Is this the thing?
NDP voters to socially distance themselves from those out-of-touch parties. It is time for
Oh, I gotta back that up. I think we missed a sick burn.
waiting for fair treatment. Maybe you run a small business and work all day only to be called a tax cheat by your own government. It is time for many Liberal and NDP voters to socially distance themselves from those out-of-touch parties.
That was pretty good. I'll give him that. Congratulations, speechwriters. That was what passes as a joke in a Canadian politician's speech. Not bad. Socially distance yourself from those parties. Bravo, sir.
It is time for more Canadians to look at the Conservative Party again. If you want the opportunity to work hard to provide for your family, you should be voting Conservative. If you want
It just strikes me at weird that, the word conservative kind of means like, let's keep things the way that they are or were, but isn't that, I don't know, but also saying everything is bad and we need to do better, like, isn't that not conservative? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is all bullshit.
to stop insiders from getting ahead while you are falling back, you should be voting Conservative.
Those insiders are getting ahead. And yeah, certainly this party is not going to be letting insiders get ahead. That's for sure. This is the party of the little people.
If you are proud of what we produce in this country, whether it's the resources in the ground or the ideas in our heads, you should be voting Conservative. And if you believe deeply, like I do, that you need an ethical government and that we need to give the Ethics Commissioner a break, you should be.
We need an ethical government to ethically take people's money by force and ethically redistribute it and ethically say screw you to everybody that didn't vote for you or at all. Anyway, I'm just venting.
Be voting Conservative. Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh claim to stand up for working families, but they fail them time and time again.
How?
Et le Bloc québécois, on va se dire la vérité. Le Bloc est passé date. Il
Oh, Bloc Québécois is out of date. Or I don't know what that means.
renaît quand Justin Trudeau méprise les Québécois. Ça va être très différent avec moi. C'est le temps.
Why isn't this being translated? I wasn't counting on having to do live French translation. I haven't watched this video before, and I haven't spoken French in like 15 years. But anyway.
Temps pour le Québec d'avoir une chaise à la table des décisions. Et je le dis à vous tous, les Québécois nationalistes ont une place importante dans le Parti conservateur.
More sucking up to Quebec. You've got a place for us. If you want to be your own country, you've got a seat at the table. We need your votes.
Canada needs serious leadership for these challenging times to keep Canadians safe and prepared for the future, to rebuild our country, to navigate our way out of record liberal deficits before they put our social programs at risk, to ensure that we rebuild stronger and more self-reliant, more resilient, so that we are better prepared for future waves of COVID-19 and all threats. To restore Canada's place in a tough world, earning back the respect that Justin Trudeau has lost on the world stage.
I really don't like this. We need Canada to be cool, and we want other countries to be like us. We need to sell them guns. That's where this is leading. He's not going to say that, but I don't like this Canada needs to stand strong on the world stage nonsense. Who cares? Take care of our own. And, if we've got some extra, we might be able to help somebody out. But anyway, we don't need more tanks.
That is what conservatives stand for. Doing what is right, even when it is not what is easy. That is what Canadians stand for. It's the same sense of duty that kept our healthcare workers and PSWs helping our sick in the early weeks of the pandemic when they...
Same sense of duty of you don't get paid if you quit your job.
Were worried about risks to themselves and their families. On a tous été fiers de nos soldats qui sont venus aider dans les CHSLD. La situation est très difficile, mais les Canadiens ont travaillé ensemble. Dans nos familles, on a cuisiné des tartes portugais. On a pris...
We worked hard in our families and we ate Portuguese tarts. I don't think that's a correct translation. That's my best guess, though.
Soins de nos parents. Il y a eu des bons et des mauvais coups, mais on a continué.
Good times, bad times, we kept it going. And therefore, vote for me.
That same feeling when a family helps newcomers to Canada by opening up their own home and letting them get their start with the help from family or friends in the community, even when it makes things challenging. That same feeling our soldiers must have felt at the bottom of Vimy Ridge more than a century ago.
Oh, Vimy Ridge reference. Everybody likes that one.
It's a belief in what Canada can be. It's a belief in the hope and opportunity that Canada represents. My fellow Canadians, my name is Erin O'Toole. I believe in this country, and I'm running to serve you as Prime Minister. Thank you, and good night.
Well, he didn't say anything overly objectionable, just mostly a bunch of politician gibberish and pandering, nothing too specific. Justin Trudeau sucks, and we're not going to suck. That's basically the pitch here. I did see that, not in this speech, I guess, that he's already on the go for cozying up to Saudi Arabia, who is conducting a genocide in Yemen with a lot of weapons that were bought from Canada. So that's alarming. Didn't seem to be banging the war drum too loud, but, we know where this is headed. Anyway, I was going to give it a shot. I certainly don't want to vote for any of the other parties. But I decided when they first started the leadership race that maybe I'll consider voting for the least bad option. But not going to happen. These guys all suck. I hate them. It's all bad. It's all downhill from here. Anyway, democracy blows. Thank you. Goodbye.